this video, we're going to take a look at how you can get started with n8n, create your very first account, and also your very first automation. So the first thing you're going to do is come to Google and search for n8n and click on the first link that appears, which will take you to the official website of n8n. Feel free to have a browse around. These are all the types of integrations that we can work with, and there's some case studies and some ways that you can host your n8n account. Some case studies right here and the rest of the website basically. So what you're going to want to do is click on get started for free, which will redirect you to this form here, which you'll fill out to get your free account and also a free 14 days trial right here. There are some other options that you can take a look at later after you exhaust your 14-day trial or when you're close to exhausting it. um, the pricing of n8n monthly looks something like this. For majority of the people who are doing it for hobby purposes or even production purposes for a few clients, this plan is more than enough. If you want to scale your business, you're running an AI automation agency, etc., then you can go for this account, which is more than enough for you. And then these ones will be for big businesses that have strict security and performances requirements, as you can see. So once you sign up for your account, you will be redirected to a page that will look something like this. So I've got a lot of workflows that I've been playing around with, but once you come here for the first time, you will see an option, a button possibly that says create workflow. And once you hit create workflow, you will be redirected to a page that looks something like this. Let's quickly just have a browse around of what it is and what the canvas consists of. On your top left corner, you will see an add workflow button. This is where you obviously add your workflow. If you want to create a new workflow, this is where you come. This is basically create a credential. Now, a credential is basically a key that you have to obtain from a third-party tool in order to get access to it. This can be anything like Google Sheets or Google account in general, or your Drive, or your Airtable, or Supabase, or your Reddit account, or even your LLMs like OpenAI. So let's get back to the canvas again. This is where you create your personal space for your workflows. This is where you share with your friends your workflows, and then you can find various templates here as well on n8n website. Again, majority of them are free. You can filter them by popularity, by apps, by categories here. There are some filters that you can put here, and some beginner friendly lessons as well as some workflows like these. So once you come back to your canvas, you can have a look at your account here, change a few settings if you need, which majority of the times you won't be needing as a beginner to look at. The first step, what we are going to do is add, which will bring up this sidebar, which basically asks us to input a trigger. Now, a workflow works in three processes. The first is trigger. What is the trigger for your workflow? Is it going to be on a certain time? Is it going to be on a manual action? Or is it going to be location based? That is basically a trigger that will start your workflow. So in this case, we're going to have a chat trigger, meaning every time a chat is sent, it will trigger the workflow. I hope that makes sense. And then now when a chat message is received, what do we want to do? We want to get an AI agent that is going to answer questions for us. Now, once we add an AI agent, we can connect this manually. It will automatically be connected because you basically what you did was you added a node after the chat, which will take you again to the sidebar, and then you can select your AI agent. There are many different types of AI agent that you can work with, but for now we're going to keep it simple and we're going to select AI agent. This is basically what an AI agent looks like. Now, what this node basically says is when a chat message is received, that chat message is going to go through an AI agent, and what happens after the AI agent is for us to decide. Now let's set up the AI agent, which consists of, before that, we're just going to send a message, which will probably give us an error because we still haven't set up our AI agent. But I'll explain to you in a minute why we just sent the message. But let's have a look at the AI agent and how to set this up. So there are parameters that every node has to be set on, meaning the conditions of what the parameters the node needs to look like. Now the first one here is source of the prompt, meaning what is going to be the source of the incoming message for this case. We're going to define below, meaning whatever is below will be the user's message here. Um, this can be anything that you can type in, or in this case, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to capture a trigger node, and we're trying to capture a previous message that we have to send to this AI agent. So what we're simply going to do is we're going to drag the chat input, because this is where the message is. This is where the actual body of the message is, and put it right in here. Now, what this tells the AI agent is you have to process any chat that comes from this node, which is our input node, which is the previous node that we set up. So anything that comes from here, AI agent has to process it. And now, as you can see, the chat input, the JSON has been populated for the, sorry, the JavaScript has been populated for the chat input, which is, hi, how are you, which is exactly this. Now, after you have the chat input set up and dragged into the user's message, there is going to be another option that we need to set up, which is basically giving instructions to our AI agent, telling it how to act and what to say and how to say it. If you just scroll down a little bit, there's going to be options. You're going to want to select system message there. And now by default, it's going to say that you are a helpful assistant, meaning this is basically where we tell our agent what to act like. If you want it to act like an appointment setting agent, you have to tell it to act like that. In this case, we're just going to leave it like this for demo purposes. And the next thing, what you will have to set up is the actual chat model, which is either OpenAI or DeepSeek or Google Gemini or whatever, or whichever model that you'd like to select. And you have to actually attach that as a tool to this AI agent. Um, Now, the chat model is mandatory, as you can see. There's a little star that appears next to it, but not the memory and not the tool. But in this case, a chat model is necessary. Once you click Add Chat Model, you will see the sidebar appear again with all of the different agents that you can attach to it. In this case, we're going to stick to OpenAI. Once you click your chat model node, this is the kind of interface that you're going to see. And the first time that you create your n8n account, you're not going to have any credentials on here for OpenAI. So in order for you to create your new credentials for OpenAI, you're going to want to click on Create New Credentials, where you would need an API key, which is mandatory, as you can see here by the little star. Um, there are several documents that you can access from n8n's docs website, which is an absolutely amazing website because it has guidelines and how-tos and step-by-step instruction for setting up your credentials for pretty much any tool. It also has instructions and guidance based on hosting your n8n account, codes and integrations and APIs. Um, but what you're going to want to do is click on OpenAI in our case, and we need to create an assistant. And this is basically what's going to guide you to create your own API, OpenAI credentials. And basically, it takes you from step one on how to create your credentials. I already have my account set up and logged in here, so once after you log in, this is what you're going to see. You're going to want to click on dashboard here and come to API keys, and then you can create an API key. As you can see, I've already got many API keys before. You have to select your create your organization or project and then create a secret key. Once you create your secret key, this is what appears, which you would copy. One thing to keep in mind is you need to save your API key because you can't access it again. You copy your API key, you will come in and paste it here. And once you paste it, you will save your API key, which will activate your OpenAI account. Now, this is where you can select the chat model, which in my case, I've selected the 40 Mini, and we're not going to touch any of these here for now. And if you open your chat trigger now and ask the same question, you will see that it now responds with the AI. Now, this response, hello, I'm just a computer programmer and I'm here, I'm ready to help you. How can I assist you today? Now, this is giving us that output response because it's acting like an helpful assistant. Now, once you set up your chat model here, um, what we have so far is a chat trigger, which will send a chat message to our AI agent who has a brain, which is powered by OpenAI, and then it will give us an output. Now, one thing you realize is we have a memory option here as well and a tool option. Now, what a memory option is, once you click on it, you will see that there is a sidebar that appears like every time, and we're going to select a simple memory, which will open up this little pop-up, this little node parameter that we have to set up. Now, what this is basically tied to is the session ID, which is going to be this one. Now, every message will have its own session ID, so it knows who to respond to. And basically, what this is be this one. Now, every message will have its own session ID, so it knows who to respond to. And basically, what this is how many past interaction does the model receive as a context, meaning how many chats, the previous chat, does OpenAI remember? Do you want it to remember? Meaning, if you ask it to remember the name of your dog and then send four more message, and the sixth message you ask it the name of your dog, it's not going to remember because it's the sixth message according to this. But if you do it 10 messages, it will remember your past 10 messages. I hope that makes sense. But majority of the case, we leave it at five and just leave it like that. So far we have, all right, perfect. So far we have a trigger, an AI agent, its brain, which is basically this OpenAI, and a memory that will remember the past five messages that we send it to it. Now, you see that there is a third option there which says tool. Now, what basically this is a third party tool that you can attach to your AI agent so that we can give it access to it and manipulate it in a way we want. For example, if we had a Google Calendar tool here, what this is going to do is basically give the AI agent access to manipulate, create events, delete events, or get events, read it, write it, and edit it. So what we're going to do is we're going to create credentials now for a calendar, which will require a client ID and a client secret. Now again, as you can see, there is docs here that you can open, which is again by the n8n docs, amazing website again. It will guide you through the process of what you need to do to get your um, client ID and client secret. You will have to select or create a new project, And once you create a new project, I already have many project created here, that's why I can't create more. But once you have your project created, you're going to want to come on APIs and enable APIs and services. You click the same again, and we want to enable Google Calendar. So what we're going to type is Google Calendar API, and then enable it. Mine is already enabled, but you're going to see a blue button here that says enable. Once you enable it, you will have to go to credentials again, and then create credentials here. Select OAuth client ID. The type will be web. This you can name n8n just to kind of refer to it. And then authorized redirect URI will be your this URL which is on your n8n instance. And then you will input that here and save it and create. Now you've got your client ID and you've got your client secret, which you will copy and paste, and copy client secret and paste. You realize that once you enter your client secret, you get this pop-up which will take you to your account here. Basically just have to continue. It's going to say that's not verified, but that's absolutely fine. You're going to give it access to your calendar to see, edit and share, and also view edit. So you will click continue, and now you can see that your connection has been successful. When it will close after 5 seconds automatically, and there you go, you have your calendar credentials set up now. Tool description will be set automatically. This is resource is going to be event. Let's create event in our calendars in this. This is what the Google Calendar node will look like after you set up your credentials, and you have to make sure that you select your correct credentials that you just created. Tool description is going to be set automatically. Resources event. Operation in this case is going to be create, because we will create an event now. This calendar will be selected by ID. Here you can enter your email address, and the start time will be defined by the chat model and the end time as well. And you're going to leave this as it is. So after you set up your Google Calendar node, what we can do essentially now is send a chat message and ask it to create an event. So basically what we're going to do on a trigger is tell the AI agent, which will think through its brain, save our chat, and tell it to create an event in this case, because this tool, its job is to create event in this case. We can now select this and press Control D, which will duplicate this tool, which you can attach to your AI agent, and basically change the operation to delete event. Now this will we will let the AI agent define this automatically and leave it as it is. Now essentially what we can do just by chatting is, hi, can you create an event for tomorrow at 2 p.m. for my Spanish lessons? Now it's gonna think, create an event, call this tool, create an event, and say that I have now successfully created an event for tomorrow. Every time a message is sent to our AI agent, it can activate the brain, save the chats, and also create a delete event. Now, this is just not limited to just sending a message and creating and deleting event. There's countless possibilities of what you can do. For example, we can also have this workflow triggered when we send a Telegram message and respond back to the same Telegram chat without having to leave or switch between apps. So this is one way that we can set up this workflow is when a Telegram message comes through, same thing happens again. If you send a message to this AI agent saying delete my calendar event, we'll do that, and it will also respond to you saying that I've done it successfully. So this is a basic workflow of how an AI agent works. If you have any questions, or if you have anything that you want to get guidance on, I'm happy to help. Please check out the description below. It has my email address and also my website to my AI agency. I'm happy to help. with anything that I can. And also, please stay tuned to join my Skool community that I'm soon going to launch. There is also a Google form that I've attached below to for you to register your interest. So if you like my content, please do consider subscribing, leaving a like, and also joining my Skool community. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.